What's up, everybody? It's David. Good to see you. Today we are talking about what the Enneagram of personality is. We're going to talk about the basics of the Enneagram, go through the 9 types to help give you direction and guidance, and maybe even figure out your core type by the end of this video. So the Enneagram has 9 different personality types, and it's called the Enneagram because the word Ennea means 9 in Greek. Each type has a core fear and a core desire that they seek out in life. And part of the challenge of being each type is dealing with this core fear as it informs how we learn to navigate the world throughout early childhood, which all authors and sort of ways at looking at the Enneagram and teachers all basically agree upon. Now, the truth is, even though we have one core type, we all have all 9 types within us. So as you hear these descriptions and explore further, you're going to start to notice that certain types resonate with you and other types fall to the wayside. And maybe a little bit of this type will resonate, but not really as the core type that you are. Now, just a little forewarning, part of this process can be a little confronting. A lot of times it can be a little upsetting, sometimes a lot upsetting, when you realize, oh my God, that's me. And even if it's not at first, you eventually will run into challenges and sort of the ugliness, the nasty side, the dark side of whatever type that we end up being. And so I just want to reassure you that's okay. It happened to me. It happens to everybody. So be kind to yourself through the process as we all experience some kind of distaste, especially looking at, again, the darker sides. But we can also look at the Enneagram and realize our strengths and grow and expand those while we work with the fear and the challenges of our individual type. So let's talk types. Starting with type 1, known as the Idealist Reformer or the Perfectionist. Type 1s like to follow the rules. They love order, maintaining order, and high standards. They often seem like sticklers and sometimes uptight. There's another word for that we could use. And they want everything by the book because they want the world to be a good and ideal place. Now, the core fear of a 1 is to be flawed, morally flawed, a bad person, and they're always striving to become a good or a best person living by high virtues and moral ideals. So if you are a 1 or have a 1 in your life, it'll often look like certainly everything is organized, well put together, and perfect, right? They're hardworking, they're diligent, high standards, can really concentrate, and can sometimes be little or overly rigid in their decision making and planning. Type 2s are the givers or the helpers. They're very caring. They put others before themselves, and they want to be involved in your life as a friend, or you want to be if you're a 2. They always want to show they're valuable and feel loved by proving they're there to other people. So classic 2 complaint is, I'm doing everything for everybody else, but nobody is doing stuff for me, because they're literally putting their needs last and everybody else's needs first. So the core fear of the type 2 is that they'll be alone and unloved, and they won't feel that sense of love. So they're always seeking to get that by putting that out to others. A type 2 friend might be the type, or if you are, that's always, hey, how are you doing? I really want to know. They're going to be warm. They're going to be very, very approachable, friendly. But this can turn into manipulative behavior sometimes and actually guilt tripping and things on people when they feel that they've been giving, but they haven't been feeling that sense of giving or love back. So again, the type 2 is going to be warm, radiant, nurturing, and they're really going to have that sense of wanting to connect. And you'll feel very loved and very cared for by a 2, or if you're a 2, that's what you give off and ultimately what you're seeking back. Now we're on to the type 3, known as the Achiever or the Performer. The absolute best type on the Enneagram is the type 3. No, I'm just kidding. That's my type. That was a joke, because 3s are known to be highly competitive. So we 3s at our core are really defined by our desire to feel significant in the world through our achievements and acknowledgement of our achievements. 3s come across as confident, ambitious, inspiring, motivating, and are often, pretty much always, results and goal-oriented. The problem a 3 runs into is they lack a sense of innate self-worth. They are the classic doers. They get things done. They want to do, and show the world how valuable they are because of all they can do, accomplish, and achieve. So if you're a 3 or you know a 3, 3s tend to be pretty charismatic on the whole, come across as confident, high energy, passionate, good at a lot of things, jam-packed schedule, lots of activities, classic type A. They're going to look like they have it together, even if they don't feel like it on the inside or actually have it together. But the problem threes will, of course, run into is inauthenticity, because what appears on the outside may not align with on the inside, especially in a really unhealthy three. And believe me, I know what that feels like and what it's like to be there, and it sucks. So threes, make sure to work on your authenticity and your inner worth. Now, type 4, the individualist or the romantic. Type 4s are the quintessential artist. They're very in touch with their expression, their individual uniqueness, and have a strong sense of identity in that way. The main challenge with the 4 is that they are really afraid that they won't be significant through their uniqueness and unique expression. So they're often, again, very angsty, very melancholy, can be very brooding. They're the cool artist type. So 4s are really defined by their sense of being unique and special, and they'll often have a really unique way of dressing or expressing themselves, and they try to be more and more unique because they feel that they're not like other people. And the way for people to understand them and connect with them is to be as unique as possible, even though often it can have not such a desired effect for a 4. So if you're a 4, you know a 4, they're pretty much the artistic type. It's pretty easy. There is a downplayed version of that 4, but they're always pretty creative and artistic. Billie Eilish is basically a 4. Prince, the musician, a lot of musicians and artists are going to be 4s. And struggling with that melancholy and that angst is a kind of a continual battle for the 4. They're typically going to have a pretty bomb style in the way they dress, and people are going to be just wowed when they see that 4, immediately see that uniqueness and feel it, and the 4 loves that. Okay, now we're on to the type 5, known as the investigator or the observer, sometimes the thinker. Analytical, can be really inventive with ideas and concepts. They also can be pretty unsociable and really withdrawn and inward. They are energy conservationists, okay? They don't want to be too drained by too many interactions with people. They really want to control their world through knowledge, and they really want to be knowledgeable and competent. So 5s, they don't want to be overwhelmed by other people's needs. They do want to be self-sufficient and independent and more on the kind of inward and reserved side of things. Minimize requirements for physical relationships and focus on their intellectual development as an escape from the world. So if you're a 5 or you know a 5, they're going to be very observational, analytical. Sometimes you might feel like you're getting analyzed all the time, but they'll be great intellectual conversationalists because they'll tend to have a lot of knowledge intellectually about topics and be able to talk about that because that is their safe zone, is in that intellect, in that knowledge base, and feeling competent through that. Now we're on to type 6, the loyalist or the loyal skeptic. 6s seek security, want to avoid all risk, okay? They are the quintessential planners. They want to align themselves with authorities and institutions that they can trust because they seek support and guidance. They want structure because they feel that structure with something they can trust will help them avoid risk. They are the risk minimizers, and they do that a lot by trying to think ahead and plan everything out, every little permutation and possibility. So if you're a 6, you have a 6 in your life, you're going to notice the tendency for quick-wittedness, being quite social actually, attention to detail, all the planning type of stuff, trying to avoid and always feel safe and secure and avoid risk, want to feel supported, want to feel guided. And that's why the 6 can be so loyal when they find that person or that social group that they feel gives them that. They will be there by your side through thick and thin. Okay, now we're on to the type 7, known as the enthusiast or the epicure. Another version I like is the enthusiastic visionary. 7s are the quintessential hedonists. They're the party person. They're the person you want to be around when you have a good time because they love having a good time in whatever they do. And they want to avoid fear at all costs and feeling fear and things that are bad. Okay, they always want to be up. They are the quintessential FOMO type, right? They don't want to miss out on anything that's fun. They're spontaneous. They can be really indulgent, but they're really inspiring and just super fun to be around. So at their core, 7s seek to be satisfied and fulfilled. So they can always be seen as chasing shiny objects, chasing that feeling. I mean, we all have a little bit of 7 in us, if we've sought something, that dessert, that drink, that food, that activity, whatever it is, right? Sevens are always sort of bouncing around to these things that will try to fulfill their need to be satiated or satisfied. So if you're a seven or you have one in your life, they're always going to be on the go, wanting to do a lot of different activities, things that they feel are fun. They're going to want people to come along with them. They're going to have a lot of projects going on. They can actually be really good leaders, really good visionaries, and they're generally pretty well liked and pretty popular in their social group and among peers. Now we are to the type 8, known as the challenger, sometimes also as the controller or the protector. Type 8s are pretty damn assertive. They tend to be very bold, and they tend to try to control situations first so they don't get controlled. Their core fear is they do not want to be controlled. So they tend to be very challenging, sometimes seem like they're attacking in order to make sure they don't get controlled or in control of the situations. On the plus side, if an 8 likes you, they will be super protective of you. They will stand up for you. They will bend over backwards to protect you if they see you as one of their tribe. So if you're an 8 or you have an 8 in your life, they're going to be independent, really self-sufficient, a lot of fire, a lot of passion. They're going to have, a lot of stuff going on. They're going to be the super willful type, determined and stamina, and different from a 3, whereas the 3 can appear confident. The 8s are damn confident. They really are. They mean what they say. They believe in their assertion of things. And last but not least, we've got the type 9, known as the Peacemaker or the Mediator. Type 9s are all about togetherness. They want everyone to get along, okay? They want to feel peace and for other people to feel peace, and they tend to be conflict avoidant and don't want to be emotionally, mentally disturbed. So if you're a 9 or you know a 9, they're going to be pretty mellow, pretty serene, a really kind of calm energy. I'm really drawn to 9s as a 3 because I'm so driven and forward moving that I feel like I'm being recharged by a 9 just by hanging out there, right? And just chilling out with a 9. Very good to chill with, I think. But 9s are going to struggle with feeling like they're too needy and asking too much. And they feel that if they do that, they're going to disturb the peace. And since that's what they see could happen in themselves, they're going to avoid asking for what they want. And that can really upset a 9. They can become passive aggressive, sometimes kind of aggressive, although in a pretty mellow 9 way. 9s are genuinely pretty liked by most people because they're really, really go with the flow types, and they tend to move slower, and they're really good at diffusing conflict, mediating situations, bringing people together. So I'd actually love to hear from you in the comments below right now. Do you already know your type, or are there certain types that you resonate with? Or maybe you really have discovered your type by listening to this video. Drop it in the comments below and let's chat there. Listen, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe and notification bell to hear about new videos right when they come out, and we'll see you on the next one.